Most people who buy a guard dog don't know what job they've actually signed up for. They picture teeth bared, one animal against an intruder. But that's the rarest of 6 entirely different working roles, from mountainside livestock guardians to certified police canines. 6 separate professions, but only one term used. And the confusion has gotten people killed, dogs euthanized, and families sold an animal built for a job they never intended to give it. The livestock guardian is the oldest of the 6 and the one people understand least. Breeds like the Great Pyrenees, the Anatolian Shepherd, and the Couvars weren't bred to attack. They were bred to be so large, so calm, and so continuously present that predators simply calculated the odds weren't worth it. A livestock guardian dog spends its life inside the flock, not beside it, sleeping among the sheep, moving with them, treating them as its own social unit rather than property it happens to be assigned. That bonding process usually starts in the first weeks of the puppy's life, raised among the animals it will protect rather than among people, which is precisely why these dogs can be so aloof with humans they haven't grown up around. Confrontation is the failure state, not the goal. The entire design is deterrence through scale, noise, and sheer bloody-minded persistence, which is why these breeds are notoriously difficult in a suburban house. An animal built to independently patrol 40 acres of hillside overnight, barking at anything that moves without waiting for a human's permission, does not take well to being told to get off the sofa and stop barking at 2 a.m. The estate guardian is where the job starts to look more like what people picture, but the target has shifted from predator to property. Breeds like the Cane Corso, the Dogo Argentino, and historically the Bull Mastiff were developed to patrol enclosed, defined territory, walls, gates, boundaries, and to treat any breach of that boundary as the trigger for confrontation, not just alarm. This is a fundamentally different psychological job than the livestock guardian's calm deterrence. An estate guardian is bred to escalate, and that escalation is the point. It's also the category most often mismatched to modern owners, who want the breed's presence without the territorial intensity that made the breed useful in the first place. Buy an estate guardian for a terraced house with a shared fence line and you haven't removed the job the dog was bred for. You've maybe just handed it a boundary it can't clearly define, which is a common root of the fence line aggression and visitor problems that get these breeds labeled dangerous rather than misplaced. The personal protection dog is a 20th century invention dressed up as an ancient one. Sport-derived programs, Schutzhund and its descendants, built around Belgian Malinois and German Shepherds, created something no traditional guardian breed had. An animal trained to switch cleanly between total social neutrality and controlled aggression on command, and back again in seconds. A livestock guardian's protective instinct is diffuse and constant. A personal protection dog's is a trained behavior with an on switch and an off switch, which is precisely why the training is so demanding and so easy to get wrong. A dog with genetic drive but incomplete off-switch training isn't a protection dog. It's a liability with a bite. The industry's dirty secret is how much of that off-switch work gets skipped. It's slower, less impressive to film, and far less marketable than the bite work. So a lot of dogs sold as protection trained have the trigger fully installed and the safety half finished. The police and military working dog took that same on-switch model and industrialized it. Programs run by agencies from the Soviet border guard to the modern US military didn't just want a dog that would bite on command. They wanted one that could track, search, detect, and deploy inside a chain of command, tested and certified to a standard, replaceable, and scalable across an entire institution. This is the category where the attack dog reputation actually originates. But it's also the most tightly controlled. A certified police canine has had more behavioral testing than almost any dog on this list, has usually failed out of at least one other program along the way, and gets recertified on a recurring schedule for its entire working life, precisely because an institution's liability depends on it. The village guardian is a role Western breed literature barely acknowledges. but it's arguably the most socially sophisticated job on this list. Landrace dogs and mongrel types generally appear in more agricultural or pastoral environments, don't just guard a single flock or a single family, they guard a settlement. That meant learning to distinguish the entire known population of a village from every outsider, tolerating dozens of children and neighbors while remaining watchful towards strangers and predators alike. It's a role built on communal memory rather than individual bonding. The dog isn't loyal to one owner. It's loyal to a place and the people who belong to it, updated continuously as it watches who comes and goes. That's a very different cognitive task from guarding a flock, and it's part of why these breeds can seem simultaneously gentle and terrifying to people who've never lived inside the system that produced them. Perfectly relaxed around a village child it has known since birth, and instantly, unmistakably not relaxed around someone or a predator it has never seen before. And then there's the category everyone forgets, because it doesn't look dramatic, the alarm dog. Most animals sold to families as guard dogs, and most dogs that actually do protect households worldwide, were never bred or trained to confront anyone. Their entire job is noise. A dog that barks at a stranger at the gate has done 90% of what most homeowners actually need, because most break-ins are opportunistic, and most burglars leave the second they hear a dog. The alarm dog doesn't need size, training, or genetic aggression. It needs alertness and a voice, which is why breeds with no guardian pedigree at all, terriers, Spitz breeds, even small dogs, outperform genuine protection breeds at the job most people actually want. It's a quietly unglamorous conclusion, but the data on burglary deterrence backs it up again and again. The sound of any dog barking does more to end a break-in attempt before it starts than almost anything a homeowner can install. Line these 6 up next to each other and the pattern becomes obvious. What we call guard dog isn't a temperament, it's a job description, and the 6 jobs pull in different, sometimes opposite directions. The livestock guardian is calm until predation starts. The estate guardian is territorial as a default state. The personal protection dog toggles between the two on command. The village guardian runs the whole thing through social memory instead of raw drive and instinct. The police dog runs it through institutional certification. And the alarm dog does the job with none of the above. The mistake isn't wanting a dog that protects. It's assuming those 6 professions are interchangeable, because the breed built for one of them, dropped into another, isn't a better guardian. It's just working the wrong job. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and suggest any ideas for future videos on your favorite dogs. See you soon!